to the former DOJ prosecutor, Jim Trusty. He is our trusty lawyer. You used to work at DOJ, and you had some experience in working with Chicago, where political leadership isn't interested in the help, but it seems like the people and the ones that actually work in law enforcement might be.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, Chicago has this long history of being stubbornly self-destructive. I don't get it. When I was the chief of the organized crime and gang section for DOJ, we were starting to launch really good RICO cases, violent crime, violent gang cases out of Chicago. The leadership there basically told the FBI, don't work with Washington. You're not allowed to do these cases. So we had to actually settle for Northwest Indiana. We'd go to Hammond, Indiana, do these great RICO indictments of violent criminals from Chicago and sweep them up into those cases. But that's kind of the attitude that Chicago seems to always have. And really, when you look behind the scenes, behind all the histrionics about armed forces coming into Chicago, the reality is they would probably take a surge of federal agents. They'd probably welcome, at least maybe feel forced to welcome, ATF, DEA, FBI agents from coming and working the cases. But the National Guard serves two really big purposes. Number one, they support the federal agents. They give them a backstop. They free them up to be on the streets. And number two, they're a great deterrent effect. I mean, think about Washington, D.C. right now, Dana. You know, if you walk by a Humvee with 3 armed guardsmen, you're probably not going to do your first carjacking right there.
Let me give you an update, too, with everybody. We have brand new numbers from Washington, D.C., and there were 92 arrests last night. And you also had 27 illegal gun seized, and so that brings your totals up to almost 200 gun seized, almost 1,800 total arrests. And Jeanine Pirro will give an update at 11 a.m. in a press conference. But there's a difference between D.C. and Chicago, or D.C. and any other city or state in the nation when it comes to what President Trump can do legally with the National Guard. Can you help explain that to people in your way, which is, you know, my layman's terms, if you wouldn't mind?
Right. Well, I can't go much beyond layman's terms. But, I mean, look, the reality is there's a bunch of litigation taking place about how the president can use the National Guard in places like Los Angeles or Chicago or D.C. And the reality is, as long as it's in a supportive role, you don't have this posse comitatus problem. You don't have this problem of federalizing military into law enforcement. They can be supportive. They can be on the streets. They can fill the ranks at the office buildings. As long as they're doing that and being kind of conspicuous but not being the investigators, you shouldn't have any constitutional problem. And I think that's really all that President Trump has in mind. He's not trying to make, you know, detectives out of the National Guard, but they can be a very important force multiplier.
The other issue that is going to happen, let's just focus on D.C. for a moment, because Judge Jeanine Pirro, who used to be our colleague here, she was on with Laura last night talking about the challenges she has in prosecuting all of these arrests just because of the way the office has been run in the past. Watch.
Judge, I've been hearing from my sources at the DOJ that there is a very, very big problem with staffing. Assistant attorney generals on down saying, we have great plans, we're doing great things, but we're down like 2/3 staff.
Yeah,
What's going on?
90 prosecutors.
Why is that happening?
60 investigators and paralegals. Because nobody cared. I'm telling you right now, nobody cared enough to make sure that office was running. I'm going to have that office running.
So that was August 6th. She's had a few weeks to try to get that done, but it was, of course, August. You know it's hard to staff up these lawyers and to get lawyers to leave the big fancy law firms in order to work and do public service. How will this go down?
Yeah, it takes a while. I mean, that's the problem. She inherited kind of a mess. And look, there's a morale issue at that office. That's the biggest U.S. attorney's office in the country. It normally has about 330 to 350 prosecutors to do both Superior Court and the U.S. District Court. So it's a pretty fat animal. It's got room to lose a few, but losing 90 is a big drop. Now, remember, when January 6th rolled around, you had volunteers and restructuring all around the country to make sure there were hundreds of prosecutors just doing those cases. So maybe the time is right to tap into Main Justice, to tap into some what they call details, volunteers from other districts, and say, come spend a year in D.C. and work some of these cases.
So to be clear, what the Biden team did is said, here at the U.S. Attorney's Office, or the DOJ did under Biden, said, if you're at a U.S. Attorney's Office anywhere across the country, we want your help here in D.C., and they volunteered to do so?
Yeah, they were giving new slots, brand new positions to D.C. for January 6th. They created a new section to deal with January 6th, which they didn't even do after 9/11. And then they had volunteers from around the country. Funny, a lot of them came from like Portland and Seattle, but they came across to the East Coast to work exclusively on January 6th cases for a while.
All right. Well, you're right. Maybe they could do that here as well. Jim Trusty, thank you. Great to have you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.